I like coming here when I need to think, she said softly. It's a quiet place where the world slows down for a moment. Alex smiled. I can see why. Even the air feels different here. Calm, almost alive. Lyra turned to look at him, her violet eyes reflecting the soft light of Zariah 9's suns. Alex, there is something I feel I should tell you, she said, her voice gentle but serious. Alex's heart skipped a beat. There was a seriousness in her tone he hadn't heard before. What is it? He asked. She hesitated, then continued. I feel a connection to you that I cannot explain. It's more than friendship or curiosity. It's unusual even for me. Alex swallowed, unsure how to respond. He had felt the same strange energy the night they had sat by the crystalline lake, a warmth and connection unlike anything he had ever experienced. He nodded slowly. I feel it too. Something different, something powerful. I don't understand it, but I know it's real. Lyra's expression softened and she reached out to place her hand over his. The contact sent a shiver through him, a mixture of excitement and awe. For a moment, neither spoke, just sitting together in quiet understanding. The next morning, however, the planet itself seemed to intervene. A rare cosmic alignment caused a surge of energy across Zariah 9, an event that happened once every few centuries. Alex had seen unusual readings on his scanner and urged Lyra to stay close. As the energy pulse passed over them, a tingling sensation filled the air surrounding their bodies. Alex felt his heart race as he noticed Lyra's hands glowing faintly with an internal light, reacting to the energy. Alex, something is happening, Lyra whispered, a mix of awe and concern in her voice. He reached for her hands and the energy seemed to respond to their touch. Then, as the pulse dissipated, both of them realized that something extraordinary had occurred. Lyra looked at him, eyes wide with disbelief. I think I am carrying something, she said slowly, the words barely audible. Alex's mind raced. Carrying? You mean? Lyra nodded, her expression a mixture of shock and wonder. Yep, a child. A human-alien hybrid. It's impossible, yet here it is. The news hit Alex like a lightning strike. He had always imagined adventure, discovery, even danger, but never this. He stared at Lyra, unsure what to say. I don't know what to say. This is incredible and terrifying. Lyra took a deep breath, grounding herself. We need answers. The planet, the energy, our connection, it all must be part of why this happened. We must find out what this means and what the consequences are. They sought the advice of Zariah 9's advanced medical AI, located in a nearby research facility that had been abandoned for centuries, but maintained by self-repairing systems. The AI scanned Lyra and provided results faster than either of them could process. The confirmation of the hybrid pregnancy left them both stunned. The AI explained that this was a phenomenon never recorded in galactic history, a fusion of human and alien DNA triggered by the rare energy pulse during the cosmic alignment. This is unprecedented, the AI stated, its calm voice resonating in the chamber. The child is viable and developing at a natural pace, but early indications suggest extraordinary potential. Both species traits are present, creating a unique combination that may surpass the limits of either parent's abilities. Alex felt a mixture of awe and responsibility. He glanced at Lyra, who was processing the news with quiet intensity. Lyra, we're responsible for this child, he said softly. She nodded. Yes, and we must protect it. The galaxy will not understand immediately. Some may fear it, some may want to exploit it. We cannot let our child be harmed. Over the next few days, they worked to understand the implications of the pregnancy. Lyra experienced new sensations, sometimes subtle, sometimes intense, as her body adjusted. Alex stayed by her side constantly, learning more about her physiology, providing comfort, and ensuring she was safe. In the process, their bond deepened. Alex discovered not just her outer beauty, but her intelligence, kindness, and courage. Lyra saw in him a strength she had not expected, a calm determination, empathy, and the ability to think clearly under pressure. Their time together was not without challenges. News of the pregnancy, though not yet public, began to attract attention from other beings who had noticed the energy fluctuations during the cosmic alignment. Some visitors to Zariah 9 were curious scientists, eager to study the phenomenon, while others were more cautious, concerned about potential threats. Alex and Lyra had to navigate these encounters carefully. explaining that their intentions were peaceful and focused on understanding the child's development. One evening, as the twin suns set and the lagoon's surface reflected brilliant colors, Alex and Lyra sat together, contemplating what the future might hold. "Do you ever worry?" Alex asked quietly. "Of course," Lyra replied. "This child, it will change everything, but I also believe it will bring hope, a symbol that humans and aliens can connect, that unity is possible." Alex nodded. "I never imagined something like this could happen to me, but now that it has, I feel like I finally understand why I explore, why I seek the unknown. It's not just discovery, it's connection." Lyra reached for his hand again, a gesture of reassurance and shared determination. "Then we face it together. Whatever comes, we face it as a team." The following weeks were filled with preparation and adaptation. Alex and Lyra learned more about Zoraya 9's environment, finding safe locations for privacy and protection. They studied the local flora and fauna for resources that could aid the pregnancy. Alex's human ingenuity and Lyra's alien knowledge combined in unexpected ways. They built shelters that were both comfortable and secure, using natural energy sources to maintain a stable environment. Lyra also began to exhibit unusual abilities, likely influenced by the hybrid development. She could sense subtle changes in energy and movement, almost predicting events before they happened. Alex observed these changes with fascination, realizing that their child's potential was already affecting Lyra in ways they could barely understand. Despite the challenges, there were moments of lightness and joy. They laughed together over small mistakes, shared stories from their respective worlds, and marveled at the beauty of Zoraya 9. Alex taught Lyra about Earth's oceans and forests, while she introduced him to alien music and customs. These moments strengthened their bond and reminded them why they were fighting to protect their child. One day, while exploring a hidden canyon filled with luminescent crystals, Alex paused and looked at Lyra. "Do you ever think about what the galaxy will say when they know?" he asked. Lyra smiled faintly. "Some will fear it, some will admire it, but most will be surprised. That is why we must be ready. We cannot control how the galaxy reacts, but we can control how we protect our child and each other." Alex took a deep breath, feeling a mixture of pride and anxiety. "I've faced dangers before, but nothing like this. This is bigger than any mission, any discovery. This is life itself." As they stood together, watching the crystalline light refract across the canyon walls, Alex realized that their journey had only begun. The hybrid child was not just a miracle, it was a responsibility, a bridge between two worlds. And though they did not yet know all the challenges ahead, they were ready to face them together, strengthened by trust, love, and the shared knowledge that the unknown could be both wondrous and terrifying. That night, as Zoraya 9's twin moons rose and cast a gentle glow over the landscape, Alex and Lyra returned to their shelter. They sat together, hands intertwined, silently acknowledging the profound change that had occurred in their lives. Somewhere deep within the energy of the planet, the first signs of their child's unique potential began to manifest, an invisible force connecting them, shaping the future, and hinting at adventures and challenges far beyond their imagination. For Alex, this was no longer a mission of exploration alone. It had become a mission of protection, of learning, and of discovery on a scale he had never dreamed possible. And as he looked at Lyra, glowing softly under the alien moons, he knew that whatever came next, they would face it together. The news of Lyra's pregnancy remained a secret between Alex and her for a while, but whispers traveled faster than they could imagine. Zoraya 9, with its advanced communication networks, had picked up subtle energy traces from the hybrid development. Within days, other beings began to notice something unusual in the secluded valley where Alex and Lyra had been staying. At first, the attention was curious and harmless. Scientists and scholars from nearby planets sent observation drones, wanting to study the phenomenon. Alex welcomed some of them, hoping that their expertise could help them understand the hybrid development. But soon caution replaced curiosity. Some factions viewed the child as a potential threat, a being that could disrupt social and political balance across the galaxy. "Alex, we need to be careful," Lyra said one morning, her voice tense as she watched a drone hover outside the edge of their shelter. "Not everyone will understand what this child means. Some may see it as dangerous. Alex nodded, adjusting the shield around their living area to make it harder for outsiders to detect. I know, but we can't hide forever. Eventually someone will find out and we'll have to face them. We just need to prepare. Alex had always been fascinated by the unknown. Even as a child, he spent countless nights staring at the stars, imagining what life might be like beyond Earth. Now, years later, he was no longer just imagining. He was exploring. The planet Zoriah 9, a newly discovered world on the edge of human exploration, had become his latest mission. Its surface, as far as preliminary scans had shown, was a dazzling mix of crystalline lakes, strange neon flora, and cities that shimmered like jewels under the planet's twin suns. As his shuttle descended through Zoriah 9's thin atmosphere, Alex could feel the excitement in his chest. The planet was beautiful, almost unreal. He adjusted his visor and activated the scanner, noting the readings as he touched down near the edge of what appeared to be a sprawling city. The architecture was alien yet elegant, tall, curved towers that reflected the sunlight in a spectrum of colors, connected by bridges that hovered above streets filled with beings unlike any he had seen before. Alex stepped out of the shuttle, feeling the planet's subtle gravity tug at his movements. He took a deep breath of the filtered air and started toward the city. His mission was simple in theory: survey the area, collect data, and report back to the human research base. But as he moved through the bustling streets, he quickly realized that this planet held more wonders than he had anticipated. Floating vehicles zipped above him, leaving faint trails of light, and creatures of all shapes and sizes moved gracefully among the structures. Some of them had wings, some had tentacles, and some seemed to shimmer with their own inner light. It was then, near a plaza where a crystalline fountain sprayed water that glowed faintly, that he first saw her. Lyra. She stood out instantly, even in a crowd of extraordinary beings. Her figure was slender yet strong, her skin a smooth shade of violet that seemed to catch the light in a soft glow. Her hair flowed behind her in waves of silver and lavender, moving as if it had a life of its own. She wore a sleek outfit that blended elegance with practicality, hinting that she was someone of importance. But it was not just her appearance that drew Alex's attention. It was the aura around her, the way she carried herself. Even in the chaos of the plaza, she seemed calm, observing the world with quiet curiosity. Alex's heart skipped a beat. He had seen humans famous for beauty and charisma back on Earth, but nothing had prepared him for someone like Lyra. She was otherworldly in a way that felt natural, not forced. He took a cautious step forward, not wanting to startle her, but fate had other plans. As Alex adjusted the settings on his scanner, a sudden shift in the crowd caused him to bump directly into her. Papers and small devices scattered around them. "Oh," Alex exclaimed, bending down to help pick up the items. "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to." Lyra turned her head, her violet eyes meeting his, and for a moment Alex forgot to speak. There was intelligence, warmth, and curiosity in her gaze. She smiled faintly. "It's all right," she said in a melodic voice that resonated in his chest. "Not many humans explore Zoriah 9. I should have been paying attention as well." Alex hesitated, then introduced himself. "I'm Alex. I'm here to survey the planet for the human research team." "And you are?" "Lyra," she replied simply. "I'm visiting. Escaping, I suppose, from the usual crowds and expectations." She looked around at the plaza, then back at him. "You're human?" Alex nodded, slightly amazed that she seemed genuinely intrigued rather than dismissive. "Yes, and I have to say this planet is incredible. I've never seen anything like it." Lyra's eyes brightened. "It is, isn't it? I've traveled to many worlds, but Zoriah 9 has a certain calm to it. A sense that life can exist without constant chaos. Do you want to see more of it?" Alex couldn't believe his luck. Here was one of the most famous beings in the galaxy, offering to show him her favorite places on an alien planet. He agreed immediately, and together they began to explore. Lyra led him through markets where merchants floated above their stalls, displaying items that shimmered with unknown energy. Some of the fruits and plants seemed to pulse with life, responding to touch or sound. Alex took careful notes, trying to capture as much as he could, but he found himself distracted by Lyra's presence. She spoke with gentle enthusiasm about the plants and animals, explaining their properties with knowledge that impressed even him. As they moved deeper into the city, they encountered a park unlike anything on Earth. The ground was soft and luminous, and trees bent and stretched toward the sky, their leaves sparkling with colors that changed in the light. Streams of water floated in the air, forming arcs and loops that defied gravity, yet seemed perfectly natural. Lyra sat by one of the streams, dipping her fingers into the water, and motioned for Alex to join her. "You don't see humans often here," she said softly. "They tend to stick to their own worlds. Why did you come?" Alex shrugged, feeling both nervous and excited. "Curiosity, mostly. The unknown calls to me, and, well, meeting someone like you wasn't exactly part of the plan, but I'm glad it happened." Lyra laughed lightly, a sound like wind chimes. "You humans are bold. Most would run if they saw someone like me up close." "I guess I've never really run from the unknown," Alex said, feeling a strange honesty in the moment. "I like discovering things, even if they're overwhelming." For a while, they sat in silence, watching the streams of floating water and the subtle glow of the plants around them. Alex felt a calm he hadn't known in years of exploration. It was as if the planet itself was welcoming him, and Lyra's presence amplified that feeling. As the twin suns began to set, casting long, soft shadows across the city, Lyra stood and stretched. "There's one more place I want to show you," she said. She led him to the edge of the city, where a crystalline lake reflected the fiery colors of the sky. The surface was perfectly still, broken only by occasional ripples as strange, colorful fish swam just below. "This is my favorite spot," Lyra said, kneeling to touch the water. "It's quiet and you can see the stars early here. Sometimes I come just to think." Alex knelt beside her, feeling the smooth surface of the crystal-like shore. "It's beautiful," he said. "I can see why you come here. It feels peaceful." Lyra looked at him, her eyes reflecting the colors of the lake and the setting suns. "It does, doesn't it? I've always felt like humans see the world differently than most aliens. You notice things we overlook?" "I try," Alex said, smiling. "I guess that's why I'm here too, to see what others might miss." They stayed there for hours, talking about their worlds, their experiences, and their dreams. Alex learned about the pressures of Lyra's life, the constant attention, the expectations, the endless appearances. In return, he shared stories of Earth, of exploration, and of human curiosity. As night fell and the first stars appeared, something strange happened. A faint energy shimmered across the lake, spreading in soft waves. Alex felt a tingling sensation in his body, and Lyra's expression shifted to one of curiosity and slight concern. "What is that?" Alex asked, standing and looking at the lake. Lyra placed her hand on the water, and it rippled in response. I'm not sure. This rarely happens. It's some kind of natural energy here, connected to the alignment of the moons tonight. It's powerful." Alex watched as the energy formed a faint glow around them, linking their presence in an invisible web of light. He felt an unexpected warmth, a connection that went beyond words. Lyra met his gaze, and he saw in her eyes the same mixture of wonder, curiosity, and something he couldn't yet name. "This is incredible," Alex whispered. Lyra nodded. "It is, and somehow I feel different, alive in a way I haven't before." For the first time in his life, Alex felt that the universe had chosen this moment, this place, and this person for something extraordinary. Little did they know, this was only the beginning of a journey that would change not just their lives, but the future of both their worlds. As the night deepened, Alex and Lyra remained by the crystalline lake, talking, laughing, and watching the stars. They were from different worlds, different species, but a bond had formed between them, one of respect, curiosity, and a shared sense of wonder. Neither could know what the future held, but both felt that they had found something rare and precious, a connection that could not be ignored. And somewhere deep within the energy of Zariah 9, the first threads of something new were already forming, something that would surprise them both, challenge their beliefs, and lead them into a story no one had ever imagined. The days that followed were unlike anything Alex had experienced. Zariah 9 revealed more of its wonders with each passing hour. Lyra, still curious about his world and his perspective, guided him to floating gardens where strange luminescent flowers danced in the breeze, and to markets where alien artisans displayed materials that seemed almost alive. Alex took meticulous notes, documenting everything for the human research team, but he found himself equally fascinated by Lyra's grace and knowledge. It was on the fourth day that something unexpected happened. They had arrived at a secluded valley, hidden away from the bustle of the city. Crystalline cliffs surrounded a small lagoon whose waters shimmered like liquid glass. Alex knelt at the edge of the lagoon, touching the water and marveling at its clarity. Lyra followed him, sitting beside him and letting her fingers trace the patterns on the surface. Lyra's violet eyes reflected a mix of worry and determination. This child is part of both our worlds. It must be protected. But I want to do more than hide. I want to show them that it can be a force for good. Alex was impressed by her courage. Despite being a supermodel with immense fame, Lyra had never relied on her status to navigate problems. She was intelligent, strategic, and willing to take risks. Then we'll face this together, he said firmly. I won't let anything happen to you or the child. The following days were a mix of research, training, and preparation. Alex studied alien defensive techniques, while Lyra explored ways to control her newly developing abilities. The hybrid energy within her sometimes surged unpredictably, creating small displays of light or warmth. Alex learned to recognize the signs and help her regulate them, their teamwork deepening with every challenge. Their relationship grew stronger in ways neither had anticipated. They shared moments of laughter, marveling at the strange creatures and plants around them, and moments of quiet intimacy, where words were unnecessary. Alex realized that Lyra's fame, her alien elegance, and her previous life in the public eye were less important than the trust and connection they shared. And Lyra saw in Alex the qualities she admired most: courage, compassion, and a steady mind that could face the unknown without fear. However, as their bond strengthened, so did the outside pressure. A delegation of alien officials arrived one evening, demanding an audience. They were led by Zoran, a tall, imposing figure with a strict demeanor and eyes that seemed to pierce through any lie. Lyra, Zoran began, his voice firm, we have received reports of unusual energy activity here. We are concerned about the potential threat to Zoraya 9 and the wider galaxy. Lyra stepped forward, standing beside Alex. This is not a threat, she said calmly. It is life. A new life born from a human and myself. We seek only to protect it and understand its nature. Zoran's gaze flickered to Alex, who stood beside Lyra, unwavering. And you, human? Are you aware of the consequences? Your species is involved in this development, and it may have ramifications beyond your understanding. Alex nodded. I understand. But I also know that humans and aliens can work together, and this child is a symbol of that unity. I won't abandon it. There was silence for a moment. Zoran studied them carefully, as if weighing the sincerity in their words. Finally he spoke. We will allow this for now, but you must remain under observation. Any sign of danger and we will intervene immediately. Lyra exhaled quietly, relieved. Thank you. That is all we ask. Alex placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. We'll manage. Together. In the days that followed, they began to notice subtle changes in Lyra's abilities. She could sense energy patterns in the environment more clearly, anticipating changes in the weather or the movements of nearby creatures. Alex marveled at her control, realizing that the hybrid development was enhancing her natural skills. One evening, as the twin suns set and bathed the valley in golden light, they walked along a crystalline ridge overlooking the lagoon. The view was breathtaking, with floating plants drifting gently on the breeze and water reflecting the colors of the sky. I never thought life could be like this, Alex said, taking her hand. A human and an alien, and a child that represents both. It feels miraculous. Lyra squeezed his hand, smiling softly. It is miraculous. And it is a reminder that the universe is bigger than we can ever imagine. There is room for unity, for connection, and for hope. Alex nodded. I want our child to grow in a world that believes in that hope, that sees beyond differences. Lyra looked out at the horizon, her expression thoughtful. Then we have work to do. We must show the galaxy that this child is not a weapon, not a threat, but a bridge between worlds, and we must protect it from those who would misuse their fear. Their mission soon expanded beyond survival and secrecy. They began to reach out to trusted allies across nearby planets, seeking support and guidance. Some were intrigued scientists, eager to observe and learn. Others were diplomats and leaders who understood the value of human-alien cooperation. Slowly, a network of allies formed, each ready to help protect the child and advocate for its acceptance. But not all attention was friendly. A faction of alien extremists believed the child was a violation of natural order. They sent reconnaissance teams to monitor Alex and Lyra, sometimes leaving traps or subtle threats. Alex had to learn quickly, using human ingenuity and resourcefulness to counter these dangers. He combined human tactical thinking with Lyra's knowledge of alien technology, devising strategies to protect their home and ensure safety. One night, after evading a group of intruders, Alex and Lyra sat in their shelter, exhausted but relieved. "I never thought exploration could lead to this," Alex said, shaking his head. "Life has a way of surprising you." Lyra rested her head on his shoulder. "It has. And yet I feel more alive than ever. The child, the challenges, they remind me why I exist, why I must embrace life fully. And you, Alex, remind me that humans have a courage and resilience that I never truly appreciated before." Alex smiled softly. "And you remind me that even in the most beautiful and famous beings there is strength, wisdom, and heart. I'm glad we found each other." Days turned into weeks, and the child's development became more apparent. Lyra experienced physical and emotional changes, and the energy within her occasionally manifested as faint glows or ripples in the surrounding air. Alex adapted quickly, learning to anticipate these surges and help her regulate them. Their teamwork became seamless, a dance of understanding and mutual support. They also began to plan for the future, thinking about how to introduce the child to the galaxy safely. The idea of traveling beyond Zariah 9, meeting other humans and aliens and showing that unity was possible became a shared goal. But they knew they had to be cautious. Prejudice, fear, and misunderstanding were constant threats, and not every being would see their child as a symbol of hope. One evening, as they watched the reflection of the twin moons on the lagoon, Lyra spoke quietly. "Do you ever fear what might happen? That the galaxy will reject our child?" Alex took her hand, holding it firmly. "I do. But I also believe that courage, love, and determination can change minds. We've already faced so much together and we've survived. This child is a chance to show the universe that differences can be a source of strength, not fear." Lyra nodded, her violet eyes shimmering with determination. "Then we move forward together. No matter the challenges, we protect our child and show the galaxy the potential of unity." In the quiet of the night, the stars above Zariah 9 seemed to shine brighter, reflecting the hope that Alex and Lyra carried within them. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with dangers and unexpected challenges, but also with promise. They were no longer just explorers or visitors. They were guardians, pioneers of a new chapter in galactic history. And as the energy within Lyra pulsed softly, Alex felt a sense of awe and responsibility. Their child was more than a miracle. It was a symbol of the potential that humans and aliens could achieve together. It was a reminder that courage, understanding, and connection could overcome fear, prejudice, and doubt. Together, they prepared for whatever the galaxy might bring, knowing that the journey ahead would test their skills, their courage, and their hearts. But for the first time, Alex felt that he was exactly where he was meant to be, facing the unknown with someone he trusted completely, ready to protect the most important life in the universe. The calm days Alex and Lyra had enjoyed on Zariah 9 were about to end. Though the valley was secluded, the hybrid pregnancy had drawn attention beyond what they could control. A faction of alien extremists, fearful of the child's potential, had begun sending teams to monitor them. These beings saw the child not as a bridge between worlds, but as a threat, a symbol that could disrupt their carefully maintained balance of power. Alex noticed the first signs one morning. While he was collecting samples near the crystalline cliffs, he detected unusual energy patterns. Small drones, camouflaged against the environment, moved in ways that suggested observation rather than random exploration. He returned quickly to their shelter, alerting Lyra. "They're watching us," Alex said, examining the readings on his handheld scanner. "I don't know how many, but they're persistent." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "We knew this day would come. The question is, how prepared are we?" Alex shook his head. "We need to be smarter than them, faster. We can't just hide anymore. We need a plan." For the first time, they left the valley. Using a combination of human ingenuity and Lyra's alien knowledge, they navigated through hidden paths, avoided patrols, and used natural energy currents in the landscape to mask their movements. Each step required precision and focus. Alex realized that every human skill he had ever learned, tracking, strategy, improvisation, was now essential to survival. Lyra adapted quickly as well. The hybrid energy inside her responded to danger, heightening her senses and awareness. She could feel subtle shifts in the environment, ripples of air, vibrations in the ground, and even faint pulses of energy from distant beings. With each passing day, Alex marveled at how the pregnancy was enhancing her abilities. She became more confident, moving with a grace and awareness that bordered on precognition. Despite the constant, they found a small hidden canyon, filled with bioluminescent plants that glowed softly under the twin moons. Here they could relax and focus on the child, sharing thoughts and feelings that helped them endure the stress of constant surveillance. "We have to stay strong," Lyra said one night, her hand resting gently on her abdomen. "The child will inherit our courage, our resilience. We must teach it by example even now." Alex nodded, his hand covering hers. "And we will. Whatever comes, we face it together. No one will harm our child while I'm here." But the threats were not idle. One evening, as the stars reflected off the crystalline cliffs, a small strike team of extremists attempted to infiltrate their shelter. Alex and Lyra had anticipated some form of attack, and they were ready. Using a combination of alien defensive mechanisms and human tactics, they evaded the intruders, forcing the extremists to retreat. The encounter, though minor, made the stakes painfully clear. Hiding was no longer enough. "We can't stay in one place for too long," Alex said, scanning the area for additional threats. "They'll keep coming." Lyra nodded, her violet eyes fierce. "Then we move. And we prepare. The child must be safe no matter what." Their journey took them across the planet's diverse landscapes. They crossed floating forests where enormous trees hovered above the ground, their roots intertwining with the air currents. They navigated crystal deserts, where the sunlight fractured into rainbow patterns across the sand-like shards. Each location presented challenges, but also opportunities to test their abilities and ingenuity. Alex used human problem-solving to overcome obstacles, while Lyra's alien skills provided insights he could not have imagined. In one particularly dangerous stretch, they had to traverse a canyon filled with volatile energy currents. One wrong step could have been fatal. Lyra guided Alex, sensing the safest path with precision. Together they moved carefully, each step calculated, each decision critical. Alex realized that survival required not just skill, but absolute trust, and he trusted Lyra completely. As the hybrid pregnancy progressed, Lyra's abilities continued to develop. She could now sense potential dangers before they happened, subtly manipulating the energy around her to shield them from harm. Alex learned to recognize these signs and coordinate with her, creating a seamless partnership that allowed them to avoid detection and neutralize threats. Despite the danger, there were moments of beauty and connection. They found hidden waterfalls cascading into crystalline pools, quiet caves filled with glowing flora, and meadows where the air shimmered with gentle energy pulses. These places reminded them why they were fighting, not just for survival, but for life, hope, and the promise of a future where their child could exist safely. One evening, as they rested near a gently glowing lagoon, Alex turned to Lyra. "Do you ever think about the world beyond Zariah 9? What will happen when they finally see our child?" Lyra placed a hand on his cheek, her touch warm and grounding. "I do. And I believe that when the time comes, our child will show the galaxy that fear is unnecessary, that unity is possible. But for now, we focus on protection, on preparation, on survival." Alex nodded. "I'm ready. Whatever comes, we face it together." Their bond, tested by danger and strengthened by love and trust, became their greatest weapon. They learned to anticipate each other's movements and thoughts, a silent understanding forming that allowed them to act with speed and precision. Even in moments of fear, they drew strength from one another. However, the extremists were persistent. Another team attempted a larger assault, this time targeting a supply route they had been using. Alex and Lyra had predicted the attack and set up defenses, using both alien energy barriers and human ingenuity. The attackers were repelled, but it was a close call. "This is escalating," Alex said, examining the damage. "They won't give up easily." Lyra placed a reassuring hand on his arm. "Then we escalate too. We cannot let fear control us. We use every skill, every advantage we have. We fight for our child, for our future." Their training intensified. Alex honed his combat and tactical skills, while Lyra learned to harness the hybrid energy more effectively. They practiced maneuvers, energy manipulation, and stealth techniques, preparing for encounters that could be deadly. Every day they became stronger, more synchronized, more capable of facing the unknown. One night, After a particularly intense day of training and evasion, they sat together under the twin moons, exhausted but resolute. Lyra's glowing eyes met Alex's, filled with admiration and trust. "You have changed my perspective," she said softly. "I thought humans were fragile, limited, but you are remarkable. You face the unknown without fear, with determination and heart. I am grateful for you." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. "And you've changed mine. I've always admired courage, but seeing you, your strength, your control, it's inspiring. We're stronger together than we could ever be alone." The weeks passed, each day bringing new challenges and new discoveries. The hybrid child continued to develop at an extraordinary pace, occasionally influencing the energy around them in small, subtle ways. Alex and Lyra learned to anticipate these changes, using them to their advantage in both defense and daily survival. They also encountered allies along the way, beings who recognized the value of their mission and were willing to help protect the child. Scientists, explorers, and diplomats provided guidance, resources, and sometimes refuge. With each ally, Alex and Lyra expanded their network, creating a small but powerful group dedicated to ensuring the safety of the hybrid child. Despite the constant pressure, Alex and Lyra never lost sight of the bond they shared. They laughed together, marveled at the wonders of Zariah 9, and took comfort in moments of quiet intimacy. The child had already brought them closer, forcing them to rely on one another in ways they had never imagined. One morning, while navigating a crystal canyon, Alex paused to observe the patterns of energy in the air. "Lyra," he said, "do you think the galaxy will ever accept our child? That they will see it as hope rather than threat?" Lyra took his hand, squeezing it firmly. "I believe they will. It may take time, but the child will show them, and we will be there to guide the way. Fear can be strong, but hope is stronger." As they moved forward, they knew that more challenges awaited. The extremists were relentless, the galaxy uncertain, and the hybrid pregnancy extraordinary and unprecedented. Yet Alex felt a sense of purpose he had never known. This was no longer just an adventure or exploration. It was a mission of protection, understanding, and bridging worlds. And as the twin suns set over the crystalline horizon, casting long shadows and painting the landscape with gold and violet hues, Alex and Lyra stood together, ready to face whatever came next. The hybrid child within Lyra was more than a miracle. It was the future, and they would fight, endure, and thrive to ensure that future became a reality. The twin suns of Zariah 9 rose over the crystalline cliffs, casting warm light across the valley. Alex sat beside Lyra, who was resting in a secluded cavern specially prepared for this moment. The hybrid pregnancy had reached its final stage, and a mixture of excitement, anxiety, and awe filled the air. Both were acutely aware that the coming hours would change everything. Alex held her hand gently. "Are you ready?" he asked softly, his voice steady, though his heart raced. Lyra's violet eyes met his, glowing faintly with the hybrid energy coursing through her. "I am. We've faced so much together. This is no different. We will bring our child into the world safely." The energy within Lyra pulsed in response to the planet's subtle rhythms. Alex could feel the vibrations in the ground beneath them, the air seeming alive with anticipation. He marveled at the way the hybrid energy interacted with the environment, almost as if the planet itself recognized the significance of the moment. As the labor began, Lyra's body glowed softly, her energy surging with every contraction. Alex supported her, guiding her breaths, helping her regulate the intense power flowing from within. Though the process was challenging, their teamwork, developed over months of shared danger and understanding, made them formidable. Alex anticipated her needs, adjusted protective energy shields, and provided calm reassurance. Hours passed, the valley echoing with subtle vibrations and bursts of energy. The hybrid child's development had already been extraordinary, and now the moment of birth approached. Lyra's energy enveloped them both in a protective cocoon, keeping the outside world at bay. Alex felt the magnitude of what was happening. Life unlike any the galaxy had seen before. A bridge between humans and aliens was about to enter the universe. Then, with a final surge of energy, the child was born. The hybrid infant emitted a soft glow, a gentle pulse of energy that harmonized with Lyra's and even the valley itself. Alex held the child carefully, awe filling him. The baby had both human and alien features. small violet eyes like Lyra's, but a human-like warmth in its skin. Its tiny hands reached instinctively, already displaying a sensitivity to the energy around it. Lyra, exhausted but smiling, reached for Alex's hand. "We did it," she whispered. "Our child. It's here. And it's perfect." Alex placed his hand on Lyra's, feeling a wave of gratitude, love, and responsibility. "We did, and now, we protect it, guide it, and show the galaxy what hope looks like." Word of the birth spread quickly, though Alex and Lyra kept the exact location secret. Their allies, who had supported them throughout the pregnancy, were overjoyed and pledged renewed protection. Even some of the more cautious officials, upon receiving confirmation, approached with curiosity rather than fear. The hybrid child represented potential, unity, and a new chapter in galactic history. It wasn't long before the extremists returned, seeking to exploit or harm the child. But Alex and Lyra were ready. Using a combination of human strategy and Lyra's hybrid abilities, they created defensive energy fields, set decoys, and anticipated every move. When the extremists arrived, they found themselves unable to breach the protective barriers, and many were forced to retreat, recognizing the child's inherent power and the parent's skill. During this time, Alex noticed subtle signs of extraordinary ability in the infant. It seemed to respond instinctively to energy fluctuations, calming turbulent forces and stabilizing the environment. Even before it could walk or speak, the child's presence affected everything around it. A gentle reminder of the unique fusion of human resilience and alien adaptability. Alex and Lyra knew that raising this child would require patience, education, and guidance. They planned to introduce it to trusted members of the galaxy gradually, showing them that the hybrid was not a threat, but a being capable of inspiring collaboration and understanding between species. The child's very existence was a symbol that boundaries, whether of species, culture, or expectation, could be overcome. One quiet evening, as the twin moons reflected on the crystalline lagoon, Alex sat with the child in his arms while Lyra rested nearby. He marveled at how small and vulnerable the infant appeared, yet he could feel the power and potential contained within it. "You'll grow strong, just like your mother," Alex whispered softly, brushing a hand over the child's glowing skin. "And brave like the human spirit. You'll be a bridge for all of us, a reminder that we are stronger together." Lyra's soft laughter joined his. "And you'll learn from both of us, from human courage and alien wisdom. You'll be extraordinary." As days turned into weeks, Alex and Lyra began the process of introducing the child to their network of allies. Carefully controlled encounters allowed other humans and aliens to witness the infant's abilities and the harmony that Alex and Lyra had cultivated. Curiosity replaced fear and admiration replaced doubt. The child became a symbol of unity, a living proof that collaboration could produce something far greater than either species alone. Even the initially skeptical Zoraya 9 officials could not deny the potential. They observed the child, noting the rare and unprecedented abilities that combined human adaptability with alien energy manipulation. Slowly, their tone shifted from caution to encouragement. "This is not a threat," one official stated in a council meeting. "It is a new beginning." Despite growing acceptance, Alex and Lyra never let their guard down. The galaxy was vast, and not all were ready to embrace the hybrid. They trained the child carefully, instilling awareness, discipline, and empathy alongside the natural abilities it exhibited. They taught it to navigate both human and alien perspectives, preparing it to face a universe that could be as challenging as it was wondrous. During quiet nights, Alex reflected on their journey. He had arrived on Zoraya 9 as an explorer, seeking adventure and understanding. He had found Lyra, faced threats, navigated danger, and now had a child that represented the future. The sense of purpose he felt was unparalleled. He understood, perhaps for the first time fully, what it meant to shape history not through conquest, but through connection, courage, and love. Lyra rested beside him, the glow from their child casting gentle light across the cavern. "We've changed everything," she said softly. "Not just for ourselves, but for the galaxy. People will remember this, learn from it. They'll see that fear is not the answer." Alex nodded. "And it starts with our child. One step, one life, one example at a time. The galaxy will follow when they see what is possible." As the infant slept peacefully, its energy subtly harmonizing with the environment, Alex and Lyra felt a profound sense of accomplishment. The months of fear, preparation, and vigilance had culminated in this moment, a future they had forged together, a life that would inspire generations. Outside, the galaxy was beginning to take notice. News of the hybrid child spread through diplomatic channels and exploratory networks. Scholars debated its significance, leaders discussed its implications, and ordinary beings marveled at the miracle. Slowly, the tide of fear and suspicion began to shift toward curiosity, understanding, and hope. One day, an official delegation from multiple planets arrived. Seeking to witness the child and understand its potential, Alex and Lyra welcomed them cautiously, allowing observation in a controlled environment. The delegates watched as the infant instinctively responded to energy fluctuations, demonstrating intelligence, empathy, and harmony with the environment. This is incredible, one diplomat said. It is unlike anything we have ever seen. A true symbol of interspecies unity. Alex nodded, pride swelling within him. It is more than that. It is proof that cooperation, understanding, and courage can create something extraordinary. It is a reminder that the universe is not just divided by species, but connected by possibility. Lyra smiled, resting a hand on Alex's shoulder. And this is only the beginning. Our child will grow, learn, and lead by example. One life can change perceptions. One life can inspire hope. As the galaxy slowly accepted the presence of the hybrid child, Alex and Lyra began to plan for the future. They would travel to other planets, introduce the child to different cultures, and ensure it learned to navigate both human and alien worlds. The journey would not be without challenges, but they were ready. Together they had faced danger, uncertainty, and the unknown, and they had emerged stronger, wiser, and united. In the quiet of the evening, as the twin moons reflected across the crystalline lagoon, Alex held the child close, feeling the warmth and energy pulsating through its tiny form. Lyra rested beside him, her eyes full of pride, love, and determination. This child is our legacy, Alex whispered, a symbol of unity, courage, and hope. Lyra's voice was soft but certain. And together we will guide it. We will protect it. We will show the galaxy the power of connection. For the first time in months, Alex allowed himself to feel complete peace. They had faced the unknown, survived impossible odds, and now, with their child in their arms, they had a future worth fighting for. The galaxy was vast, unpredictable, and sometimes dangerous, but it was also full of potential. And as the stars of Zariah 9 twinkled above, Alex, Lyra, and their hybrid child looked out over the valley, ready to step into a new era, one of unity, hope, and the boundless possibilities that arise when courage and love guide the way. The journey was far from over, but for the first time, the future felt bright, limitless, and undeniably theirs.